What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here today with the late review, you guys. Sorry that this is late, but we're here for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 12 reunion part 2. So before we just jump into the reunion, guys, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed to the channel yet, I need you guys to stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, thumbs up the video, and with that out the way, without further ado, let us discuss the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion part 2. All right, you guys, so this reunion picked up where part 1 left off with Diana and Garcelle talking to each other. Honestly, if I was Garcelle, I would have stopped talking to Diana the minute she came on the screen. That would have been the end of the conversation between me and Diana, right? So Diana wants to say that she's so upset and she's so hurt that Garcelle would call her evil. And Garcelle and Andy were like, but that was after you called Sutton a see you next Tuesday, right? She's like, but that is so much worse. Her calling me evil is so much worse. And Andy and I were like, wait a minute. So saying evil, someone is evil is worse than calling someone the C word. So Erica, Renna, and Dorit. Oh yeah, that's really bad to call somebody evil. I'm like, it's bad to call somebody evil as opposed to calling a woman a C-U-N-T. That's worse. But okay, girl, if y'all want to go with that narrative, I I wish Andy had called bullshit on that because that was classic BS. So her calling Garcelle calling her evil is so much worse than calling her a see you next Tuesday. But y'all want to, but Kyle wants to sit up here and talk about, Crystal about the whole dark comment, right? Y'all are full of shit, right? So Diana is saying that she's filed a lawsuit, and Andy's like, who did you file a lawsuit against? She said, her and Eric said John Doe. So allegedly, she wants to get to the bottom of who. God said nobody would hurt your pictures. Girl, shut up. I really want her to shut up. Like, I was just like, Andy, can we mute her? Can we do something? Get her off of the screen. I'm tired of looking at her. She didn't bring anything to this season. She's not liked by a lot of the majority of the fandom. Get her off the screen. But eventually Andy said, okay, well, thank you for coming, Diana. We're gonna talk, we'll see you something, we'll see you, hopefully see her never. Baby, when it comes to season 13 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and who we bringing back and who we not bringing back, let us not bring back Diana. She needs to be number one. I've heard some rumblings. I don't know how true these things are, but I've heard some rumblings that they are potentially bringing Brandi Glanville back. I pray to the good Lord above that they don't bring Brandi back because I don't like Brandi. I can't stand Brandi. Brandi is my, God of the Beverly Hills Housewives, Brandi is my least favorite. I would be fine if they brought Camille back. I would be fine if we bring Denise back. I would be fine if we brought Vanderpump back. Hell, I would be fine if we brought Yolanda back. They could bring Joyce back. They could bring Carlton back. They could bring Adrian Malouf. They can bring a lot of people back. Just don't bring Brandi back. Brandi is the one person that I would just ask that we just don't ever return to this show. But hey, it is what it is, right? So Andy says, so we're gonna take a few minutes. So we're gonna break for lunch, right? So we see Erica and Renna. They're in their dressing rooms, and I don't know if they were trying to say that whoever is behind what happened to Garcelle's son, they're trying to cause division with the group. Girl, there was already some division with the group, right? So then we see Kyle. So Kyle and Dorit are talking, right? And they're talking about Crystal and how, Crystal doesn't do this, and I'm still looking at Kyle with a proverbial side eye, because to me, when it comes to Kyle, it's like, Kyle, you are giving me that. I feel like one of those 14 friends that she's no longer friends with, one of those 14 friends has got to be Teddi Mellencamp. One of those 14 friends has got to be Teddi, and the reason why Kyle is going so hard at Crystal, it's got to be because of Teddi. Because we all know that Teddi is thirsty and wants to be back on this show. Now, initially, I've never been one of those people who disliked Teddi. Teddi was boring, but I didn't hate Teddi. I still don't hate her now. I just don't like her. I think she's thirsty. Ugh. She's trying to be like Tamra. And Tamra's been a bit thirsty as well. Like Tamra, as easily as you got your orange back, that orange can easily be taken from you again. Lord, let it be taken from her again. I don't want to take nobody's money from them, but God, I don't know how I'm gonna do OC with Tamra on it. And I've heard some rumors that Vicky makes some appearances this season on OC. Oh God, Vicky Gunvalson. Vicky, I'm not even gonna get into Vicky and what I think about Vicky right about now. But let's pause here, you guys, and let's move forward. All right, you guys. So next up, we move over to Garcelle. So we talk about Garcelle, buying her beach home and her very first Birkin. Now I told you guys what I think about the Birkin bags. Those bags are just not. I don't understand the hype, the fascination with them. It just wouldn't be for me, right? Everyone on the cast, with the exception of Erica, has a Birkin. Erica says it's not her style. It's not for her. Okay, is it because you can't afford it? Never mind. Never mind. Oh, I skipped a whole segment. I skipped a whole segment. The Kyle segment. Child, the Kyle segment wasn't much, right? So you guys know that Kyle's daughter is getting married. So Andy asked her it's going to be a big, extravagant wedding. I wasn't really paying attention. Then they talked about the fact that Garcelle told, what's her name? Dorit, don't be Kyle. Don't be Kyle. And, Andy asked her, what does she mean by don't be Kyle? And they all kind of sum up that she's saying, don't be extra, basically, right? So then they brought up, the rumors that are out there that Mauricio and Dorit look like they got a little something going on, right? And Kyle says no. This all came up when, after the robbery and, Dorit and PK then were at the house and Dorit and PK and Mauricio all did that hug. No, girl, it was when she kept kissing on his back, which was really weird that she kept kissing on his back like that. And then that when y'all were in Aspen and when y'all went to dinner, that conversation, yeah, it's a lot of things. But she says there's nothing going on. I was like, okay, if you say so. I think otherwise. But hey, that ain't got nothing to do with me, and that is alleged. So then somehow Erica brought up this story about when she was in Berlin. This guy came up to her and her friend and asked them, were they in porn? And then he said, fuck Paul Kemsley. I was like, huh? I was like, wait, what? That didn't make any sense to me. I'm just like, ma'am, what the hell did they have to do with the price of tea in China? So after that, we then moved over to Garcelle, you guys. So I've already talked about Garcelle bought her first Birkin, her beach house. So Andy asked her how are things with her Birkin. She said at first, she let this sit on the counter for 2 days, but because she felt like if she put it in her closet, that it was, official. I was like, girl, it was official once you swiped that card or once that card information was read and it came off of your account. That's when it was officially your Birkin bag, right? So Andy asked her how are things going with her home, and she says right now things are going pretty slow, with all the permits that she has to get, but she's, we're moving, but not as fast as she would probably hope, right? So then Andy talks to her about her book and the fact that she wrote about Bill Cosby in the book, and he asked her about that situation. So what happened is she got a part on the Cosby Show, right? And she said that Bill Cosby reached out to her management team to ask for her number. So he got her number and then he called her over so that he could coach her or something. So she said when she went over to his townhouse, he gave her I think she said some sambuca, and she said something just didn't feel right with her, and so she just listened to her intuition and got the hell out of Dodge. And I'm glad that she did, right? And Andy asked her how old was she. Said she had just turned 18. That is terrible that old ass bastard was gonna prey on her. So then Andy asked Erica, so did you kind of peek into Garcelle's book before you tossed it in the trash? So Erica tells us what happened, right? And if you guys don't know what happened, Garcelle, when she was promoting her book, it was right after the trailer had came out. So Garcelle had posted the snippet of the trailer where she says that, when Erica says you can't, you're trying to make me look bad, she says you're doing that you're doing that by yourself. So Garcelle was a little flippant with that moment, and she used it to promote her book. So Erica got mad about it. Now, what happened is Renna says Actually, Erica didn't throw the book in the trash. It was me that threw the book in the trash, and I sent it to the group chat. And I was like, oh, okay. So Rena says why she did it, right? Because Rena says, when Garcelle and I talked, we made a pact that the kids were off limits. And in the book, she talks about Amelia. And even Andy said, but in the book, she was only saying about the situation that happened when you guys were in Rome. And that's exact. And Garcelle said, yes, that's what it was. But, after Rena said what she said, I went in and I made we did it, a second copy of it, and we removed it from there, and we also removed it from the audio portion of the book. So that's that. Now, the thing that kind of pissed me off was the fact that Garcelle says that, she heard that they were all snickering when Rena sent it to the group text, and it's a group text that she's not on. Now, I know some people last night were saying, well, maybe, because I was like, because Sutton, if you guys looked at Sutton was kind of shaking her head. So I was like, is Sutton on this group chat? But then some people like, probably Sutton and Crystal not on it. I can guarantee you Crystal's not on it. But Sutton, I just don't know. You guys, for some odd reason, I just don't trust Sutton. But you guys know, I've told you plenty of times the reason why I don't see her for Sutton is just really the Southern Belle thing, because I've come across some Southern Belles and they're just as racist as hell. So that's why I don't see it for Sutton. Sutton might be a sweet person, but I just don't see it for her because of that whole Southern Belle thing. So I want to pause here and I want to move forward, you guys. So they also talked about the fact that Garcelle, her son, works for Vanderpump, right? So Andy asked, how did that come about? So Vanderpump hosted something for Haiti, and Garcelle was there, and she told Vanderpump that he needed a job, and so she hired him, right? And they were like, but you've been filming with her recently. She said, yeah. And after that, they just brushed past it because they started talking about the fact of people saying that that Erica didn't, recycle because of the phone and stuff. And Rena says, oh no, Harry put that in the trash. And I told Harry that he did it, but Harry said he didn't. Now, you guys, that scene, right? I'm going to be honest with you guys. This scene right here, it really pissed me off because you could see when they went to a commercial break, you could see Garcelle's face. I don't know if this was edited, if this was probably when she was talking to Diana. Either way it go, her eyes were red and you could tell she was pissed off. And I'm like, y'all just literally brushed over this woman. That's fucked up. Like, I just didn't like that. So then, you guys, next up, we move over to Rena. When it comes to Rena, you guys, I ain't really got much to say because I don't believe Rena. Because Rena, now granted, I've lost my mom, so I know what that grieving process is like, and I'm not taking away from Rena. But I do think that Rena is being a bit facetious in some of the things that she says and does. Like, I do believe she's grieving, but I do believe at the same time Rena can be being facetious because she's apologizing to, the ladies for how she acted. I'm like, are you serious, Rena? Because you continue, like, even at the party where you flipped out on Sutton, you said it was because of your mom, but then you still continue to do stuff. So I don't know if I can give you 100% leeway with that. Like, I know you lost your mom and I know what that feels like, but I just don't know if I don't know how much I believe of Rena. I really don't. Let me know what you got. I know y'all gonna tell me y'all don't believe anything about Rena, but I do believe Rena slightly. Maybe this much. I do believe some parts of Rena is acting out, but at the same time, Rena has been doing this stuff for years. Denise Vanderpump, Yolanda, Kim, the list goes on. So she's been doing this for years. But let's pause here and move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. So next up, we talk about Sutton real quick. So they showed the package of Sutton. So Sutton apologized to Dorit for the comments that she made. And I'm going to be honest with you guys about Sutton. I don't believe Sutton. I truly didn't. I did not believe Sutton one bit. If you guys believed her, you can let me know, right? So then somebody mentioned about Kyle, about how physical Kyle got with Sutton. They were like, you didn't like it when Brandy Glanville pushed you down them stairs. And they showed that clip of Brandy pushing her. I was like, I remember that scene because I cracked up laughing. But at the same time, now see, there's another point right there, right? When I talk about Kim. Kim wasn't well. Brandy knew that, and Brandy was using Kim. Let's keep it real. Brandy was using the fuck out of Kim to get back at Kyle. You guys might not want to admit that, but that's what she was doing. But Kyle says it was different, right? Sun says you were quite aggressive. You were quite aggressive, and then you agreed with Diana in that particular moment, right? So Kyle, she apologized, right? So then Andy asked Garcelle at one point, because they trying to say that Sutton does things to make her, does things to make it about herself. So Andy asked Garcelle, do you feel that Sutton does things at times to make it about herself? She's like, sometimes. She's like, he asked the question, and I'm gonna keep it real. Yes, Sutton does do things, but in that particular moment with Diana, I don't think Sutton was doing that to one up her, make it about herself. I think Sutton was doing that to empathize with the woman, to have, to say, I hear what you're saying. I've been in your position, so I know I've been there, so I know what you're feeling. I don't want you to feel ganged up on. I don't want you to feel attacked. I felt like that's what Sutton was doing in that particular moment, but it is what it is, right? So after that, they talk about, someone says, how many things does Rena have to, something like, how much does Rena have to do to Sutton for Sutton to realize that Rena is not her friend, right? So Sutton says that Rena was very brutal with her all season long, even after filming. She continued to come after Sutton, right? So, and she says, I was the only person that you did this to. So Sutton says that she doesn't consider Rena a friend, and Rena says, okay. And it reminded me of that reunion when not Kyle, but when Kim gave the bunny back to Rena, and Rena had that one tear coming down her eye. you know, I gotta give it to Sutton, right? Because Sutton is right. Rena is forever the soap actress. That is what you always gonna get from Lisa Rinna, is the soap actress, you guys. And then, you guys, let's go ahead and wrap up this reunion part 2. All right, you guys. So this is just gonna be me talking at this point right here, because I feel like Andy went super duper lightweight on Rena, right? So we're talking about how Rena is a disaster on social media. Now remember, Andy told Candace that she was a disaster on social media, and Andy was coming down hard on Candace on Real Housewives of Potomac for the things that she was saying on social media. But here is Lisa Rinna saying, she's sarcastic, she's this, she's that, she's this. But Andy, you came so hard at Candace. You came so hard at Candace, and you told Candace about the people last season's reunion, or season 5, whichever one, that people were tweeting you saying that you should fire her. You ain't never, you barely, all you said to Rena was, somebody said that you should put her on pause. Put me on pause. Put me on fucking pause. I don't give a fuck. Put me on pause. Rena, you's a motherfucking lie. You know you care if you put on pause. Like, Rena, stop playing. Unless you going right back to Days of Our Lives after this season is over with to play Billy Reed, you care about being put on pause. That was really all that happened at the end of this. So then it was talked about, the microaggressions, and Garcelle explained it to them about the microaggressions, right? So, how things that Rena says and does could be seen as a microaggression. And then Crystal chimed in and said that's how she felt when it came to Sutton. Then Kyle decided she wants to chime in. And I was like, Kyle, sit over there and shut up. And in this moment, I was particularly happy that, Crystal didn't back down to her, and Crystal let her have it. And that's really it, you guys. They paused to do another package, and then they're going to bring Kathy out. Whew, the ladies look shook at this point, you guys. So that's it, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about part 2 of the reunion. You drop down in the comment section, subscribe to the channel, turn your post notifications, share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands, wear a mask, social distance, be blessed. I'll see you guys later. So next up, you guys, I'm got to do hot topics. And I gotta watch American Horror Story. I did not know that American Horror Story came on last night, so gotta watch American Horror Story and watch those 2 episodes, edit them, upload them, so you guys will see them on Friday. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.